becoming the second scorer in history for Singapore, just behind Fandi Ahmad.
He put me down until the 5th striker kan. Shit, I'm gonna whack this guy, man. Challenging the best players, Fandi, Indra, Latif. He just pushed me lah.
You sign your first contract at 16. You drop out of school at 14.
I don't need to tell my parents. I make my own decision.
You went to retire in 2015, briefly working as a private hire driver.
Is there a moment where somebody recognized?
Oh, a lot of time.
Brawl against Daniel Bennett himself.
Yeah.
We asked him what happened, but he asked us to ask you.
Squabble, that's nice.
Daniel, he got a very, very good mouth to talk for 90 minutes.
Very competitive. I'd probably annoy some strikers.
You had trial offers from English clubs. What happened to those deals?
The transfer fee was 400k.
Oh.
I was already did my medical. After a week, fly back home. That was one of the biggest regret I did lah.
Every time you come back to Singapore, it's always Tampines Rovers. Can we assume, was it because of Hock Seng?
2004, my brother got caught for trafficking kan. I had to raise the bill of 80,000 lah. He just turned into his safe. I give you 70,000, you top up 10,000. Literally, I cried lah the whole time. Until now, I will never play for the club lah.
Sportswire podcast.
Welcome back to another episode of Sportswire, your fast track to everything sports. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel and make sure to follow us both on TikTok and Instagram. Today we have with us one of the most iconic figures in Southeast Asian football, a natural born striker who craved his name into history with his incredible goal tally, unforgettable performances, and a fair share of headline-making moments. The legend himself here today, Noh Alam Shah.
Yes.
We call him Along. Is that
Along.
okay?
Yeah.
Along, how are you? How's things? How's the preparation, especially for Tanjong Pagar this season?
Alhamdulillah, for now, before I start, thanks to Sportswire for inviting me over. It's an honor to be here. And of course, seeing Saifullah here is also a great step up from a player to a podcast ini. Yeah, so on my end, personally, everything has been good. Yeah, tiring. And then for the team as well, in Tanjong Pagar, everything has been going well. Yeah, so all is good lah.
Before we begin asking you, going to touching on your stories, like you mentioned the Tanjong Pagar, very unlikely that you guys have actually a very long pre-season compared to the other clubs because they start in July and then they play first game in August, but you guys haven't played your game until this week. Yeah. So how did you actually prepare the players, 2 months of pre-season? I'm sure it's not easy to keep the players, the intensity all the way at the top.
Yeah, so basically we are already in our week 10 of the pre-season, and then for the local players it's a bit longer lah because they have come since mid-June. But in a way, the question is whether you want salary or you don't want to salary. If you want salary, then you have to come to work, right?
Yeah.
The most toughest part was when we received the fixtures when in start of August, mid-July and mid to end of July, and then we have to change our periodization a little bit lah. And then in week 5, and then we have to deload the intensity and then give them a couple of off. It was not easy because injuries also stepped in. And then, but again, it's more on the psychological part rather than the physical part. The physical part, they know they have to work hard.
I mean, it's interesting and I'm sure it's not easy. We will touch on club and all that a little bit later. Right now, we want to know Along, the Noh Alam Shah. Can you tell us a little bit about how your childhood growing up in Singapore? Where did you exactly grow up and how do you fall in love with football?
Okay. Basically, I grew up with 2 strong women in my life lah. Basically, my ibu and my mak lah. Basically, my mak is now going to 88 years old. And then she's the one who's been taking care of me, my brother, 2 of my younger brothers lah. Yeah, kan? And then the fighting spirit, the passion that I have is come from Ma and Ibu, who have always shown the side of the strong-minded woman in them because I grew up without a dad kan. So basically, we are survivors lah. So again, the resilience that I have come from them lah and their upbringing. Yeah, so that's a little bit of myself lah, but I have to give credit to the 2 ladies in my life lah. And again,
About your football?
my football has become naturally at the age of 5 and 6 years old. I grew up with a badminton court in between the blocks, kan. So it was like at the end of the block, you can always see downstairs from level 4, kan. You can see always the older players playing lah.
Okay.
Kan? And then when I come down at 5, 6 years old, I was as huge as the green dustbin, kan. So I was being asked to protect the dustbin as a goal lah. But again, somehow I think they see something and include me rather than the rest, kan. And then it just grew from there lah. But I think at the age of 13 years old, 12, 13 years old, I already know that I'm going to be a footballer lah. Because in school, I already start signing and then giving out signatures to my... And then of
The
course,
aura is there already,
I've known already. Okay, I'm gonna be, and then it doesn't. It helps also that the canteen stall makcik who sell the nasi lemak, kan. She also raised me up, like make me like feel like, hey, you gonna play football in your school, and then you score, you can get bonus. Free nasi lemak.
Wow.
It's an added.
Yeah. Added in bonus.
Yeah, but at the age of 14, I made a decision to quit school lah.
14.
14 years old. So I stopped at Sec 2, right? And then I've already made up my mind that, okay, I'm going to pursue football lah. And then I signed my first contract at the age of 16 lah.
Talking about signing your first professional contract at the age of 16 with, I believe, Sembawang Rangers
Yeah.
in 1997.
Yeah.
You know, before moving to Tampines Rovers. So how different, first question was, how different was that, the S.League back then compared to today? When you first signed as a young boy, you know?
I think I was fortunate to meet with certain coaches throughout my upbringing lah. Basically, the current trend of football right now and compared to previous trend when I was growing up was really, really different lah. It was more on a mental toughness at the age from 16 to 20. So I have coaches like Vincent Subramaniam, Jiang Boon Sing, Yao Tin Bei, whose warm-up was like 25 rounds. And then after that, 1 hour of technique. But when we come into current trend, we will say that, hey, this is nonsense loading, right? Yeah, but I think it built resilience in me. It builds the mental toughness in me when I come across coaches who give me hard work. And I feel like, hey, I can reflect back on the younger days that this is things that I've gone through much more worse. Yeah, but yeah, the level of football in the past, I was fortunate also. I have foreigners who came from Thailand in Sembawang who was quality players because the Thai league doesn't pay as well as now. Yeah, so everybody was coming over, and then I think in the Eastern Europe, they are going out from wars, so they come over here for cheap. And then I think the quality over there, in terms of the technical player, it was a very higher level than now, but in terms of the educated, tactical level player, I think right now is much more better.
Yeah. Touching on that, because you say you signed your first contract at 16, you drop out of school at 14.
Yeah.
You made the decision yourself.
Yeah.
So how was it like? You just one day come home, you tell your parents you're not interested in school? What was
I don't need to tell my parents. I made my own decision.
So you just drop out, don't attend school?
Yeah, I just dropped out. On the first day, was supposed to be promoted to Sec 3. I decided not to go to. And then I just, but again, I believe in what I need.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
So the decision was easy because I feel like my mom and my mother was working really, really hard. I grew up with helping them sweep the blocks. We swept 4 blocks just to get $250 a month. And then it doesn't make sense for me to get this 50 cents for me just to go school when I'm not interested in it.
Okay.
Yeah. And then that decision, I said, okay, I just go out because from the age of 12, I've already doing construction work. I was sending flyers at Centon Way, and then I was getting more money to help my brother lah. Yeah, can support the family and things. But unfortunately, my two brothers also follow. No, one of my brothers also follow my way. He quit school, but he never become footballer. He become a pro.
But you were the eldest.
Huh?
You're the
I'm the eldest. That's why the name Along comes
came
along.
Okay.
Kan? But there's Along, Anga and Ali. So the three of us.
And when you signed your first contract with Sembawang Rangers back in 1997, how was the contract like as a 16-year-old boy?
Because at that time my first salary was on 1,003 lah.
Oh, that's not bad. 16.
No, it was good. It was good.
It's not bad.
When I right now I recruit players, right, it brings to shame that I have to give them salary which is lower than before. I always use myself as a benchmark, kan? But unfortunately I have to understand the situation also now.
Correct.
Yeah, so with all this mental resilience and strength, you won the S.League Golden Boot in 2005 and multiple league titles with Tampines Rovers.
Yeah.
So how did you dominate the league during that era?
At that point of time, I think at Tampines, right? At Tampines, there was not a standard created lah. So we are the pioneers to create that standard when we come to Tampines. And fortunately also, there's a lot of SF players who was not wanted at that point of time and then shifted over to Tampines.
Yeah.
So the vision was to create a certain standard to become a champions.
Okay.
Yeah? And the mentality of champions was already being brought over by from SF. So again, like what Tampines is now, they are like they are sustaining a standard, right? Yeah. So at that point of time, we were creating standard. Yeah. So it was like, I think right now for them it's much more difficult than before.
Correct.
Yeah.
Who scouted you from Sembawang Rangers to Tampines? Because I think you played in Sembawang for about, I think, one season before you went to Tampines.
I played for Sembawang since 1997
Okay.
until 2001.
Okay.
Yes.
In between, I went to NS and played in SF lah.
Okay.
And actually my first year I was scouted for Woodland under 16.
Okay.
Coach Kalai was the one who scouted me. Yeah, okay. And then currently now Coach Kalai, I recruited him to become my back end staff with the under 13. Yeah, so that's the whole story. When Coach Kalai went over to Sembawang, and then he just asked me to go. So Woodland sold me for $2,000 and then I just offload me go to ni lah.
And at least that time got transfer fee.
And then during your 2005 when you were like flying, during that season you dominated the league and you had trial offers from English clubs. Noh County and a club in Latvia, Skonta Riga.
Skonta Riga, yeah.
So how did that offers come and what happened to those deals?
So like again, when the first offer in Noh County is because the national team coach back then, Redi Avramovic, was a legend in the club.
Okay.
So my boss, Mr. Hock Seng, and him and FA link up and then create the trials over there lah for myself. I played 5 games over there and then get a man of the match 3 times. So I was offered a contract, but the limitation of our standing at that point of time, we were number 92 or 96 back then.
FIFA ranking.
Yeah, FIFA ranking. And one of the regulation is the country needs to be 75 and below. Yeah. But again, after that, nothing happened. And then because of the permit, and then I go back, I went to the Asian Club Championship in Brunei for a week. And then we won that tournament. But during that period, I got an offer from Skonta Riga because they just sold their striker to a Russian team. The offer was good. It was all stated in the facts.
On the table.
All. I can tell you the transfer fee was 400k. I was solid. The
That time
money
you how
was
old?
solid. I was 25. And then it was just I go over there and then did my medical and everything. But the next thing after a week, I booked my ticket and then fly back home. That was one of the biggest regret I did lah. So basically it was in May.
Okay.
And then my second child was born in April. So again, over there was no like this IT gadget right now. There's no WhatsApp call. My bill goes up until thousands of dollars.
Because you're calling home.
And then, having 2 young kids and then leaving my ex-wife back then was very difficult. So I just make a decision to come back lah.
But you signed or you didn't sign?
No lah, if I sign, stay there.
Okay. So you didn't sign.
So with all these limitations, right? What was your feeling back then?
I got no feeling lah.
So like families first.
I always thrive on the motto of families first. Yeah, whatever I do, whatever motivation I did is also because of family. To be honest, I dislike football from a very young age. It is something that can provide for my family, you know. And then until today, if I can do other things that pays me as well as football, I will choose the other thing and not football. Because it just take away time from my family. Yeah, I go through a lot of sacrifices not watching my kids grow up, you know. And then I try to live after I retired in 2015. Then I think 2 years I work in a corporate world. That was the best 2 years of my time now, because it was fixed 9 to 6, and then I got holiday which I can plan out, and then I know I can meet my kids after work. And then after that, holidays with my kids. But after going back to football, I really don't know what's the next day gonna be.
Yeah, because I think the football schedule, we cannot plan ahead where we want to go for vacation and all. I think that's the tough part being a footballer.
Correct. I mean, touching on that 2005, because you had I think a wonderful season with all the trial happening and you coming back to Singapore and all, of course. But in 2006, I mean 2006 you had a wonderful season also, 2005, 2006. But 2007, you had a bit of high and a bit of low in that season.
Yeah.
I think if we just Google Noh Alam Shah, the first thing that comes up would be your brawl against Daniel Bennett himself. We had Dan Bennett on the pod in our second or third episode. We asked him what happened during that point of time, but he asked us to ask you instead. So I think the audience themselves, they want to know what actually went through your mind, but what was the main reason, what happened during that Singapore Cup final?
The main reason of me coming to this podcast is because of Daniel.
No. One of, but no. We have a lot more questions.
After you answer this, we can cut the whole thing.
Basically, I was going through a tough time. Sometimes from 2004 and then from 2007, I was riding high in terms of the performance part and then the salary part. And again, when you go into this kind of level, right? And then I think sometimes you lost yourself. And then you lost yourself, and then you I neglect the values and mottos that I always put in front of me of family first, right?
Yes.
And then I let this stardom get into me. Yeah, this is something I'm not ashamed and I'm not regret about this because this thing makes me what I am. Again, it makes me feel like a star, and it makes me feel like I'm exposed to outside things, negative things of course, and then it makes me go sideways a little bit again, and then because of that, it creates a friction in my relationship with my ex-wife, which led to divorce. And then during that period, I was on a verge of divorce, and then 3-4 days I was not going home. At that point of time, I was staying in hotels here and there, so my mind was not clear. Whoever was in the tunnel back then at Jalan Besar Stadium, I was not in the right frame of mind lah. But having football, which gave me the best part of world, where I make mistakes outside and then going inside the pitch, I can rectify everything, right? Yeah, and then that night, the result doesn't favor me, so it was not the best of both worlds. So that crumbles me, and then being Daniel, one of the best strength of Daniel, he got a very, very good mouth to talk for 90 minutes. And it a little bit frustrated me lah. But I go through this all the time. I played with him. But again, I think at the last part, crashing down on both worlds, outside and inside the field, it just hit. It is unfortunate that it comes down to Daniel. But again, when you look at that video, right? I got Mazri's one also being punched by me, and then I got a few close person who are really, really close to me. that I go berserk on lah. And it was one of the frustration night in my life lah.
Okay. Then I mean, touching on that, because after you had that whole brawl that happened, and I think FA issued you a 12-month ban.
Yep.
Yeah. But I think after your appeal, it went back down to 7 months.
7 months.
But during that point of time, I think you were also on loan to a Malaysian club,
PDRM.
PDRM and all.
Yeah.
Who made the arrangement? Were you the one that said I want to go PDRM because you couldn't play in Singapore, or was a club that offered you to PDRM?
So back then, when in 2005, I got a lot of offers. I got offers from Oman, I got offers from Australia, I got offers from Malaysia, I got offers from Indonesia, I got offers from everywhere, you know.
List goes on.
Yeah, the list goes on lah. And then after that, then I decided to sign for PDRM because the distance is closer, because my
Family.
daughter my ex-wife just given birth in 2007 to her.
Okay.
So that's the reason why I chose PDRM lah.
Yeah.
But again, when I reached there, and then when they want to register, and then the ban of domestic ban become a worldwide ban.
International.
So initially it was a domestic ban, then became okay.
So basically they never understand this lah. And then that's why the ban become lesser to 7 months ban.
Yep. But sorry, continue, bro. Now, do you feel like like they changed it to domestic ban because they want you to feel the punishment? That's why they changed it to worldwide ban instead of domestic.
Well, I think that they don't know that domestic ban, that there's no such thing as domestic ban. As long as the ban FIFA states that it must be a worldwide ban.
Understand.
Fair enough.
So did you actually end up playing to play for PDRM?
Again, when I go there, I was doing my ankle reconstruction lah. 6 months out lah. So I was getting free money lah.
During the ban, when, like you said, when you were doing your rehab and all that, do you have that? Do you feel like you have something to prove when you come back from suspension? Like, you knowing along having that drive and all that, you cannot wait to come back and prove these people like, I'm still here. Do you have that feeling during your rehab?
Yeah, no lah. I was still lost in the world lah, to be honest. So 2007, 2008, and then when I patch up again with my ex-wife 2009, then I start being focused again.
Okay.
So then you see me start winning things again with Arema at that point of time.
Yeah.
Understand. But it's interesting because going through all this during your year, you said in 2007 and all that, but you still had that famous 7-goal haul against Laos. Even when you go through all these things, what was the game like? Going to the game, having all these problems and scoring 7 goals. Was it that easy, the game to play against Laos at that point of time?
It was on bicycle kick also.
Yeah, bicycle kick all. 60 goals.
It was easy for me lah, because I got good players around me. Okay. I got Amri coming off the bench assisting 5 of the goals. And then I got the rest. I got Ridwan, Sharil, Hafiz, E.T. So it was made easy that I go into that game before I reconstruct my ankle. So I went to that tournament with a very bad ankle lah, ankle injury. Yeah, and then so when I have this ankle injury, I was told to stay inside the box much more. So because my playing style, I will go and press. I will not be. So Indra and Nagu will be inside the box more than me. But when the coach back then already know of this injury and he trusted me to play, I was told to be inside there. So that's why I score a lot more goals that tournament.
So that game you were the target man or the poacher lah, basically.
The target man. Why was it? I think I'm the type of player lah. Even that night also I never sleep also. So the whole tournament really, it was a mess up preparation for myself. But end up with
7 goals. Yeah, correct. What was the feeling like scoring 7 goals the next day when you see the headline and all? Because you had a rough year, then you had all this happening. Do you feel like was your come up again? Your motivation was high?
The downslide was after. I think from 2004 onwards, it was consistently good for 4 years. Yeah, but if you ask me about 7 goals being this, when I was playing for school, I play elsewhere. I did score a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a norm for me. Yeah.
So even in international tournament, 7 goals for him is a norm.
Nothing.
No. It's not something that I'm boastful about. But it is just
No,
like
it's in
I
you.
just feel, just in me.
Correct. Because mainly after that, I think one season after you went to the very famous Arema.
Yeah.
I think that was considered one of the, I wouldn't say biggest, but I think in terms of fan base, Arema have a very big fan base and all. How did that move happen? And the reason, and any reason why you decided to go to Arema, was it because you want to be a bit further away from home because of all the problems you had at home?
So basically why I left Singapore, that time I was frustrated with the federation also. I think the league has gone down slide. I think when I come back from the Daniel incident, I was targeted more from the referee. Yeah. So again, I was given yellow card for them to control my action inside the pitch. Then after that, there was a beep test also at that point of time. So I got no problem doing the beep test. I never feel I will do one. I can come into the beep test being drunk also. I can do that. Not a problem for me. Seriously. But again, that beep test has put away the rice bowl of few of my players. So in a season, I can score 20-25 goals because the assists come from this place. But I was frustrated because for myself, the goal count become lesser because these players are out. Some players, they have the physical in them to complete this test. But some players have the brain intelligence of a football, right? They cannot do this test, but they can have this brain intelligence. So I was losing the balance of the support and the finish. So again, I said, okay, I just want to get out of this country, and then I go to Arema. And then when I go there, I got the godfather, my late godfather, who was the vice president of the Federation of Indonesia. So again, when he sit down and then he asked me whether I want to go into Indonesia League. So I say, okay, that's why I want to go there. But again, when I say, okay, it was supposed to be Sriwijaya, Persija, and one more club, I forgot. But the clause that I asked him, I told him that I want to go to a city which don't have traffic. Because I know Indonesia is very, very near. So Malang was the place. I don't know anything about Malang. So the first time when I accepted the offer, and then I flew over to Malang, and then I saw the small airport, right, just like a small hut. I say, oh, what the hell I got into myself. But again, it turns out to be a beautiful story.
Yeah, definitely. And as you know, we had Ridwan in our podcast, and he mentioned that you were his agent. So why did you bring him on board to Arema? What are the qualities that you see
Was he one of them
in him?
that couldn't pass the beep test?
He can pass easily. It was not him actually. The first person I asked was Daniel Bennett. And then after that, I asked Ahmad Latif. And then after that, I asked Noh Rahman. And then when I wanted to go buy the tickets in airport after training, it happens that I never drive at that day. So I told Ridwan, come, we drive me into the airport for me to purchase the ticket . So while sitting there, I was still thinking of who I want to go and bring. So when I look at the side, I say, hey, you want to follow me go Indonesia? He say, I was waiting for you to say it. So
I hope you watch this podcast. You're not the first one.
Again, the deal become that . So when I told them, I know I have a certain budget. And then I told them I wouldn't come to Indonesia if I never bring Ridwan in . But again, Ridwan come over there as an unknown, but he made himself, credit to him, he made a name for himself over there.
You brought Ridwan on board, and then why did the club give you the green light to, bring him?
Because of who I am . So basically at that point of time, I was riding a lot on my name, and then my late godfather was really a big figure in Indonesia football. Hence the reason why, if you see, I do things in Indonesia, I so-called get away with things. So I was really well protected and well supported over there.
I mean, we all know in the Singapore scene, you're very well respected, but even in Indonesia, you earn that respect as a foreign player, as a foreigner, which is not easy. And then Indonesia has a big pool of fans and all that. So how did that respect earn? Was it because of your performance on the pitch, or just along?
I think the first part comes from the football part lah. So when we go into Arema, when in October 2009, I think the sponsor pull out, and then we were left with young players. So Dandy was young, Bustomi was young, Zulkifli was young. So we were given a task. So the two foreign players, a World Cup player, Pierre Janka, and myself was the so-called name lah, and Marcus Horizon, the goalkeeper. And I think I have 10 yellow cards and 2 red cards in my first season.
He's a striker, no?
Yeah.
He's a striker, no?
But again, it was very difficult because the tackles that I made, every tackle was, the reason was the younger players was being tackled. Then I have to chase that player, the player who tackled, and then I have to hit him and make sure that they are supported.
Okay.
But the next season, I only have 2 yellow cards because they already step up.
Okay.
So it was not easy. Sometimes, you know, the red cards, the yellow cards that I have was actually to spur the other players on. So I was given the task of being the bad guy to raise the intensity, right? And then after that, we also go through the next season after being champion. This is the tough part lah, and I think it propels the respect they have for me. We go into a season playing in the Champions League, and then that team was strong. We finished second in the league, but we go through 3 months and 4 months without salary. For myself and Ridwan and the foreign players, I think they don't dare to do funny things with us, so we were getting paid. But again, over there, I think I saw things which I wouldn't see in Singapore. I see the hardship they lead, and then the players who doesn't have money, you know, and then I think that's where I grew as a person lah. And then I help out, and then I assisted them in terms of financial and support. And then to the extent I even chased the management, flying here and there to get the salary. So everybody was asking me like, you are a foreigner, why are you doing this?
You get your money, you should keep quiet.
But again, I tell them, without their support, I will never score goal.
I need them.
So I need them to be in the right frame of mind for them to support me. So again, that's where everybody in Indonesia, most of them, for the management side, they don't dare to sign me because they were worried that I will do this kind of thing supporting the local players. But for the players' perspective, that's where the respect comes along lah. They saw somebody who really care for Danny. Even to the extent of, I think, like the people who cook for me inside the mess, who clean the ni. We go down and see their family, and then until today, if we talk about this, they will cry or ni. So at back then, I thought it was like nothing lah, kan? But I never really know that it actually impacted a lot of people. Until to the extent there's a lot of Alam Shah and Ridwan being named in Malang. So I think they should be 12 years old or 13 or 15 years old now.
Until today, I think the fans do appreciate you guys coming to Arema and all lah.
They're stupid they all.
I mean, touching on Arema and all, because I mean, you had a very wonderful season there on the pitch. But off the pitch, I think because of all the salary issue and all, there was a lot of dispute that happened off the pitch itself lah. I think before leaving Arema, you had, I wouldn't say minor or major, you had a dispute with, I think, your head coach, Janu, where you actually took the golf club. And I'm not so sure whether you swing at him or not. But the main question that I want to ask is not to say, why did you guys fight? I want to know where you get the golf club from.
I was a very avid golfer from 2007 until to the extent in the whole East Java, I've already played in all the golf course. So everybody knows that I will have a golf course. So to the extent when we go to Bontang, so Bontang is like we drop at Balikpapan, and then after that is an 8-hour drive. So the coach Robert, he said, Alung, you don't need to train. You go down because the hotel in front of the hotel is a golf course. So every time I go there, I would play golf. He allowed me not to go training. Because why? The result will be 2-0, and the 2 goals I will score. So for me, is Robert or the coaches that understand me, right? It will never go into a local coach punya head, because for me, I stand by ni. I say like this. I have to say in Malay lah kan. Kalau I say coach, kalau aku senang, aku tenang. Then baru boleh menang. This is something that I said. So if you understand how to make me happy,
I'll be at peace.
I will work for you. Okay. Because as a boy who grows up with a lot of hardship, right? I will fight for those who I trust.
Okay.
And it's not only fight to this extent, but I will fight more than what I can give.
Okay.
You know, so I got coaches who don't I have trust issue, and then I will become the worst player that I can be. But I have coaches who understand how to ride on my trust, and then you will see me playing really, really well for them.
I understand. I mean, moving all the way back from 1997, you've played a lot of clubs, you know, and all the clubs that you've played for is like 1 season, 2 season, 3 season. But now here, something interesting happened during this year, you know, in 2012 season.
Yeah.
You jump a few clubs, you know, from Arema to Persib, and then back to Tampines, and then to PSS Sleman. So what's the story behind this move? So let's start with how you went from Arema to Persib. What happened exactly?
Okay, so basically there was the SPL, and then the 2 leagues lah being separated kan. Yeah, so for me, in order to leave the club, I have to be sure that the rest of the younger boys got a contract lah.
Okay.
So basically, I sit down with the boss, and then I said, okay, if I go, and then all these boss, can you take over to this Arema SPL? So 9 of them I secured the contracts, and then a few of them I secured other clubs. Then after that, it was very difficult decision for me to sign for Persib, because 2 of them I haven't get the club yet. Yeah, so I get this club based on my status and also the context that I have with the other clubs lah. So until these 2 senior players, right, and then they say, Long, udah kamu tekan kontrak aja sama Persib. It was very difficult because I know I'm leaving them on the list. Yeah, and then I made the decision, and then I go to Persib lah.
But
so
you left Arema because of salary issue?
No. I left Arema because, so again, when I push that 9 players into ni, I get them to agree to sign these 9 players.
Okay.
The only worry for them is to get the ringleader out. So they don't want any problem. So I have to go. I got no problem because I was having offer here and there lah. So again, going to Persib also being a big club also, it was like one of the good thing lah, kan? So I decided to move to Persib lah. But the Persib still last half a season lah. Again, because I get to know that my father was going to be released on 12th of July.
Okay.
So I decided to be with my father and then support him lah. So alhamdulillah, that is one of the best decision that I made, because he was in and out prison since 70s until 2012, and then alhamdulillah until now, I think he's outside doing well is because of the reason of us standing by him at that point of time lah. Then after that, we go to PSS Sleman kan.
From Tampines,
From Tampines, and then go to PSS Sleman. So again, this PSS Sleman was a Division 2 team. And then when I heard in Arema, the reserve players doesn't have contracts at that point of time. These Arema players, anywhere we go, we'll become champion. We are champion mentality. So this is a little bit funny lah. So when there was PSMS Medan, there was PSS Sleman. One of the clause that I take was, if you sign me, you have to sign these other 12 players.
12, not 1, not 2.
Yeah. But only PSS Sleman agreed to this term. Yeah. So again, also, but again, the salary that I have to divide it into 12 to support these players all lah. But I know what I'm getting in. We won the league. Yeah. So and then it was a no-brainer lah. When I support this, I said we will definitely win the league. The league is too easy lah for us.
But I mean, touching on that, because if you can split your salary into 12 players, How much were you bringing back in?
It was low lah.
Was low?
It was low lah, I can tell you lah. So basically, I was earning like maybe 10 to 11,000 lah. So basically for them, 500 is a lot.
Okay.
Ya kan?
Okay.
So we divide lah. But for me, it was really a struggle lah. I was really stupid or somehow. It was more of an emotional thing lah. Emotional decision lah. But it creates a big impact
To them.
in home.
Okay.
Because when I come back and then I was hit with bankruptcy and everything, you know, and then but again, when I have to choose, I say I never regret lah.
Okay.
If I have to choose bankrupt and then I have to choose the life, 10 years down the road now, I have people now over there who treats me like family. Yeah. So it was a happy ending lah.
Yeah. I mean, Along, you played, you go back and forth a few times, you know, but there's one thing that we realized, you know, looking back at your career for the clubs you've played, every time you come back to Singapore, it's always Tampines Rovers. Yeah. Can we say, or can we assume, was it because of Hock Seng? Was he like a fatherly figure also?
Of course lah, he is one of the reason lah. So basically, if not for SAF, right, literally I only play for 2 clubs only.
In Singapore, yeah.
Sembawang and Tampines.
Yeah.
Again, Sembawang because of Warawan, and then Tampines also because of Mr. Teo lah. I'm very indebted to him because in 2004, he did something that I don't think any of my family members or any of my race will do for me lah. So basically, my brother got caught for trafficking kan, and then after that, my mother, now she's 88 lah. 20 years ago, she was coming to 70 years or 68. Yeah, and then my second brother was her favorite son lah. So basically, when we know that he got caught and then he's going to go for a long-term imprisonment, right? And then I was worried that my mother wouldn't get to see him. So at the end, we were thinking about, hey, let's bail him out and then let him spend time with my mother lah. Because I hope nothing happened to my mother, but who knows, kan, ajal kan. And then I was in Maldives, and then Mr. Teo called me up. I was in Maldives AFC.
I thought holiday. You thought you had some resort.
So we played the match, and then back then the team manager said Farouk kan, called Mr. Teo lah, said I was not in the right frame of mind lah. So immediately when I touched down, Mr. Teo asked me to come to his office lah. He did something lah. So how much was the bail? He said, you okay? I'm saying I'm not okay lah. Literally, my brother is inside prison right now, and then my mother, I concern my mother, and then the bail, I have to raise the bail of 80,000 lah. So again, my bank account, I have like 26,000 at that point of time lah. He just turned into his safe and then he say, you keep your money. I give you 70,000, you top up 10,000. Literally, I cried at that point of time. Until now. But again, that's why I vowed that I will never play for the club lah.
Okay.
Because of that, because he did something for somebody I love lah.
Yeah, understand.
Wow, this is such a touching story. Yeah, 100%. So moving forward from club football and then touching on international football, you were so close to reaching 100 caps.
Yeah,
you were only limited to 84. So what do you think was the reason you weren't able to hit 100?
The ban lah. I was banned 1 year in 2001. 2001 until 2002, and then I was banned in 2008. So if that 2 years ban I was not banned, 100% it was easy lah. Reaching 100 lah.
Yeah, I think the 1 year ban was a big hit to his career.
Yeah.
So we heard from Ridwan that there's a culture in Singapore football. Okay, I think it's similar to NS somewhat, where the seniors will make the juniors do off the field work.
Yeah.
So when you were young, did you have any seniors that tell you that? Knowing you are Alam Shah,
1997, I have to clean boots. So every player got 2 boots minimum, right? The 4x2s, the 6 stars, and the 9x4s, right? And then back then it was more tougher because you have to kiwi the boots, you know. But for me in Sembawang, I really don't know. I just enjoy doing it. And even in the national team, you will see me carrying luggage, you know, putting, because I just feel like, hey, this is something good lah. It pisses me off if I see younger players doesn't do this. But again, nobody asked me to do this lah. It's just something that you do this, you learn, and then for me it's always growth lah. If I can learn something and grow from it, I will take the opportunity lah.
Do you think you were the one that started the culture? Because you said during your time nobody asked you to do it, so you do. Then maybe when you see young boys never do, come do. Then you start the whole culture. Until up till today when we in the national team, some boys, when you see the young boys never do, you.
I think basically before me already. There's there's like junior and seniority, but like I think back then already have lah.
But just touching a little bit on this, I just interested to know when you were senior, who were the one you asked to? You got asked some place to wash boot or here and there?
No lah, I have to go to the very highest scale lah.
Okay.
So Haris Harun was my roommate when he first come into ni.
Okay.
So basically I said
16.
So when he come into the room, I said, Haris, you open my luggage, Okay, you see how the things all being kept? Okay, because you won't see me here. But when we check out, you make sure all that become me, But must be the same, And then, for me, we will have one room in Amara, kan? I will always pay my own, and then I will check in on top. I have my own room. So Haris will have to go up and knock, and sit down, And again, that's who I am lah. I try to make myself exclusive in a way lah. Just it's not because I want to be that, because I just feel that if I feel exclusive, I will go into the field feeling exclusive than others. Okay, my performance part, the mental part, and then come back. So again, it goes back into the upbringing, because as a boy who grows up in my situation, I have a big wall in front of me.
Yes, sir.
So my mental part has to be countered with being exclusive. So again, I try to if the Nike give me same boots as others, I would say no. I want
different.
Other different. I want to be the only player, and then that's why you see in 2004 I'm the only player who wear gold boots.
Okay. Interesting.
Means at that point of time you were sponsored by Nike.
Yes, I was sponsored by Nike, and then I shifted over to Adidas in 2007 because many and majority of the players got to Nike.
Okay.
The younger players. And I said, I don't like to wake up with that. I just shift over to Adidas.
How was the deal back then, during your time when you were signed with Nike, Was it just free boots or they gave allowance also on top of that?
So I was given 20k of cash money, and then after that, 10,000 of values.
Okay.
And then again, I told you, right, one of the reason why I go switch over to Adidas, because they got tailor-made.
Okay.
So it was a
big deal.
A big deal to me, because I was so crazy into golf, right?
Yes.
See, until to the extent, right, I will not wear the first grade boot. I will wear the second grade.
Okay.
And then the budget, I will go to golf equipment. And then the Adidas person will say, hey,
Jam.
You need the performance. No. My leg is the performance, not the boots.
That's 100% true.
But because you were sponsored by Nike and you shift over to Adidas and all, and during your career you had so many offers coming in also. Yeah. Were you represented by any agent back then, or were you your own agent?
I was fortunate to be until today also. I'm not good approaching people. Okay. I stick in my own bubble. So again, at that point of time, it was always approach. Until today, it's always somebody approaching.
Okay.
I'm the type of person, if I have A, I can live with A. If I have B, I can live with B. It's not a problem for me.
So when the offers came and all, how did they reach you at that point of time? Email?
Again?
When the offers and all last time came to you from Europe offers, your Asian offer, how did the offer came to you? Word of mouth?
It will come from to the club lah.
It will come to the club. So nobody represented you back then?
No, nobody lah.
I think if back then the social media was as good as today, his DMs will flood with offers.
Yeah, I think so, sir.
Maybe now offers will be
maybe now also flood?
Now also flood?
Nobody now. People want to approach me also very difficult because of the perspective that they have towards me lah.
Maybe they afraid lah. Afraid or what? Maybe they don't know the response and all what will come and all. Yeah. I mean, touching back on your on-field work and all, we all know that you scored a lot of goals back then during national team days, Indonesia days, Singapore days, and all. You scored a lot of goals. Yeah. So and you didn't have any agent representing you and all. So how was your contract like with club? Was there goal bonuses? That's why you keep scoring, or was it just natural for you?
So I got goal bonuses. The first goal bonus was like with Mr. Teo lah, when I go to Tampines, right? So he asked me like, how many goals you score? He said, 20 goals. I say 25 goals you can score. I say, what I'm gonna get? And he told me, there's a fat boy on top, Harley Davidson motorbike lah on top. I say, motorbike? Expensive or not? I say, expensive. Okay lah. I scored 25. So I missed out then that season 24.
Okay.
Just 1 goal shot. But Mr. Teo being Mr. Teo, he come out and then he gave me 20,000. So that's where the goal bonuses and everything comes in lah. So it spurs me a little bit more, especially when in Persib, the offer was good lah. Goal bonuses, assist bonus and then everything lah. But yeah, again, you have to be smart in negotiating.
Correct. Yeah. For the national team, was there any bonuses when you scored and all at that point of time?
Only with Mr. Teo lah.
Only Mr. Teo.
So the rest of the team, in 2004, I was the only Tampines player inside the national team.
Okay.
So I won the Singapore Cup, I won the S.League, and then I won the Tiger Cup. So I was the only player who won three cups. And then it doesn't help because Mr. Teo will come during dinner and then he will pass the money in front of the players. So the players will say, say, don't worry, this is to be shared.
So you shared?
At night will be wow.
That's how we share. How was the goal bonus like in? Like is there a big difference with how Hock Seng give the amount and the Indonesia? Indonesia is crazy money also, right?
Yeah, so back then, I think man of the match was $1,000 kan? So man of the match was $1,000. And then after that, we have match bonuses, which is $500. And then after that, 1 goal is $1,000. So in a night, if you can score 2-3 goals, and then definitely when you score 2-3 goals, you're definitely going to get the man of the match. So that's already 3 goals plus man of the match, 4,000. And then plus the $500 and 4,005. So it was big money back then.
Point of time.
Cash money, they give after the game?
Cash after the game. That is the good thing, you know.
Correct.
So like before, I was a smoker back then. So every time when I go into the hotel, right, national team, the first question I would say to my team, what's the bonus going to be like for this game? $300. They say, okay, $300. What's the fine for smoking in the room? 200. Okay, I pay first. That's the level of confidence we have back then. We're going to win this and then cover this out lah.
Okay. I want to touch on that because now, at that point of time, Hock Seng was so generous with giving bonuses and all that kind of thing. Why did the culture change to the current days and all? The sponsors at that point of time, was it bigger or was it just because he was more generous as a person?
I think at that point of time, it was more not generous. I think his business is doing well.
Okay.
But I think when the minister back then, I think the Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong, or another one, Goh Chok Tong in 1998, when he looked at France winning the World Cup with foreign, and then the foreign talent, and then Singapore become a well-supported sport by the ministers. That's why back then, Agu, Itimi, Ekma, Mirko got their naturalization within months and years. 1 year, they already get passport. So when I think in terms of politics sense, right, the ministers, especially the top hierarchy, in the top people in the hierarchy, wants to get involved and is in front of the sport, definitely all these businessmen will come and support.
Okay.
Whereas now it's a little bit different. I think it's not as well supported by the parliament side and also the business side lah.
Okay.
Looking back now, you often carried the weight of being the main striker. For the Lions, for any club you played for. How do you handle the pressure of expectation from the fans and the media going into every game?
This is, I grew up in a family that I have to live with my brother. No pressure for me. The pressure I have with my brother and my family is much more difficult.
Difficult that you're playing games.
This is a sport. I win or lose, nobody will be.
But have you ever thought if I don't perform today, I know I might not get a contract next season. If I don't perform this season, I might not be able to support the family. That kind of pressure do you have with you, or you just
his name too big, I think, at that time.
Too big,
At the end, I tell you, even in I really don't know what I'm gonna go. One thing that I know that I'm gonna retire in 35 years at 35 years old.
Okay.
So that is something that I hold on until I that's my belief lah. I will retire at 35. But one thing, I really don't know what I'm gonna do when I retire. At the back of my head, if I have to go and sweep block, I don't care. I just sweep block lah. Yeah, and so the level of gratitude that I have towards my life, I said, I'm not going to be shameful. I'm not, even if Noh Alam Shah is going to be up here, one day it's going to be down there. As long as halal and then I'm going to do this, it's okay for me. The only concern is how I'm going to support and provide my kids at that point of time.
I understand. I mean, your mentality, I think, is one of the quite rare to have, in Singapore, especially during back then and especially now.
Yeah.
And then I think that is one of the factor that you are the reason for being the second scorer in history for Singapore, just behind Fandi Ahmad starting off your national career. Do you had that goal in mind when before you start playing for the national team?
When I start playing for the national team, even when I start playing football, it's only about the money, and then it's an enjoyment lah. But when Fandi become the coach in 2020, his first stint in SF, and then I was under him, right? And then he put me down until the fifth striker, and yes, shit, I'm gonna whack this guy, man. I don't care whether he's Fandi or what, no. So from that time onwards, my motivation was always to beat his record, lah.
Okay.
And then I grew up alongside Ahmad Latif and Indra also, right? So back then in the paper, they will always have top scorer chart, and so I will always see Indra score today. Okay, tonight I'm going to score lah. It was always a challenge lah for me. So I put myself challenging the best players, and without realizing that Fandi, Indra, Latif, and then he just pushed me lah. Because I just have to be like, okay, Indra is in Singapore football context, right? Indra is the good boy of ini kan. I have to do proud the bad boys also, right? So, I always try to keep a balance lah.
Yeah, from setting from trying to break the record, you actually set one record.
Yeah.
The top scorer in the AFF history.
Oh, okay.
And then Terasil Dangga broke your record in 2020 or 2021. Okay. How did that make you feel?
No lah, I never feel because if somebody have to beat it, it has to be Terasil lah. It's far much more better lah.
Because you hold the record for 14 years.
Yeah.
And then after 14 years, Terasil broke your record. Were you happy that it was a Thai player and then or not a Singaporean? Because your Singapore name is still there.
Yeah, but like I tell you, first of all, I'm proud that it's Terasil who broke it, and then I'm also proud that it lasted for 14 years. And then, but it's also frustrated lah, because at the end, every time the edition come, they will call me.
To go down.
They will call me. How do you feel about this? So when somebody beat that record, it offload a little bit of attention lah.
Then you went to retire in 2015.
Yeah.
So you went through different jobs, including briefly working as a private hire driver.
Yeah.
So how did you cope with the sudden change of pace after football, When you drive also, maybe your passenger, Alam Shah lah.
Yeah.
So how was it?
Is there a moment where somebody recognized?
Oh, a lot of time.
I think it trended also, right? I think your screenshot also trended on Facebook at one point.
Is it?
Yeah.
So again, I took over from my brother lah, because he got a full-time job, and then we don't want to lose the deposit and then the car. Then I took over lah. So 2015, I decided not to like the last game. If you can remember, I tried to get myself banned permanently, trying to whack the referee. So I really want like not to be involved in football. That's the reason why I did that against Harimau Muda lah. But and then 2 years in Komoko, and then did the private hire, and then after that, when people come into the car and then talk to you, and then you see when you reach your destination, and then the whole family waited out for you.
When
and then
you reach the other side.
Actually, I make a lot of impact. I inspire people without realizing. So, and then Mr. Teo being Mr. Teo, he said, hey, you go back to football lah. You become Sultan Selangor Cup team manager. And then the most embarrassing thing he asked me to do was to wear a suit on that game. The reason why he said, you need to create an image that people will forget the old Alam Shah. So that's why I have to wear a suit. I have to wear this. And then it's so awkward lah. Kan?
Okay. So any like incidents in the car where it was like awkward or whatever memorable conversations you had?
No lah, it was very enjoyable lah.
I think
because first thing I love to drive, and then it's like a remedy to me. Even when until today, if I got something, I will just miss my exit because I think too much about what I'm going to do in football, right? So I think at that point of time when I drive people, I love to chat also. And then when they tell me how they look at me at that point of time, it becomes like fuel towards the football, like what I'm doing now lah.
So during your driving days, right? The next few years in 2018, you were the Singapore assistant coach and you also guided the under-23 boys. So how did that came about? Who offered you the role? Maybe it was like just an idea in the Grab car?
No. Basically, there's Mr. Teo lah. He asked me, hey, you go to Fandi and then help him. So I took my coaching badges, my B license in 2017. I took the badging license because the coaching license, because I don't want FA. Because if you have a certain cap, you are entitled
to take the course
for free until the A license. Being myself, I say I'm not going to let the federation get away with this. So I just go lah.
You go and pay yourself or you?
No,
you
it's
took the
free.
subsidy.
Okay.
Also, you wanted them to pay for you.
You didn't wanted not to take lah.
I want the federation to save money lah, basically. So I just go and think. Not knowing that one day I'm going to be where I am today. Similar, I at least playing football, I know that is an interest. But coaching was never an interest. Coaching was like, hey, you have to be a role model to somebody. You have to take care of your image and everything. So I just think, but I really don't know that I will come this far lah.
How do you feel coaching the under-23? Do you try to instill your mindset into them, that kind of warrior mindset?
I tried to lah, but basically it's a different ball game at that point of time really lah. Things changes, Okay. So it was no longer, I think the generation after my generation. I was in the mid. So I was born in the 80s, right? So there was the old school generation and also the 84s are the start of the newer generation. Mindset. So I'm blessed to live in both worlds. So I know how to talk with this side and then I also know how to talk with this side. So I think I learned how to contribute 50-50 lah.
Okay, so it was slightly in between lah.
Yeah, slightly in between lah.
Touching on the in between side and also the newer generation. I mean, I think last week the national team had a game against Malaysia where we actually lost 2-1 and all. Touching on the new generation, we had a new generation coach. I think Coach Gavin, who's actually his first game in charge and all. You have been in the scene for very long and all. Do you, when looking back, comparing your coaching days and comparing to the playing days, do you feel that performance was justifiable in terms of the loss 2-1? Was it okay since it was his first game in charge?
I think Gavin being 34 years old, well respected, well knowledgeable. I think this is his first start, right? So basically, I think it's not an easy thing, but going through playing Malaysia away, I think he done really, really well. Of course, there will be time also to implement what he wants, and I hope that he can get the time. And of course, the support needs to be like how he get the support from Tampines lah. Because the support from back end is really, really huge. Without the support, you cannot implement your vision and anything, right? So again, I will support whoever is doing
the team
for the country, right? So I hope he can improve the team further lah.
Understand. I mean, because we also look back. I mean, during your playing days during the national team, you managed to win, I think, 3 AFF Cup and all. But I think after your playing days and all, there was no. We didn't win this kind of trophy at that kind of level. And any reason why the sudden drop of standard?
I think the other teams, the other countries improve also, and then of course the naturalization also did well for them also lah.
Yeah.
I think we stopped with the naturalization when we are the first country that start.
Okay.
You know,
Should we start?
We must actually lah.
Okay.
Since like the rest of the countries all are doing it, right?
Okay.
But it is also difficult lah because of the rules and regulation that we have. And then I think we are just unfortunate that the current football right now always play with one striker. Yeah, and then it doesn't develop any striker. Back then, we always play in a system of 3-5-2. So I was blessed to play with one foreign striker and another local striker. So in every club, we got 10 clubs. So there will be 10 local striker playing. There will be myself, there will be Indra, there will be Mazri Zuan, there will be Fazul Azni, there will be Ismail Fitri. So you got 10 strikers who are scoring all the time.
Yeah.
But right now,
All foreigners.
all foreigners.
Yeah.
And then you got a lot of number 7 and 11 wingers. You know?
Okay.
So I think the system that we play also over the last decade doesn't support the development of the national team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think that's the reason why other countries were able to perform much better? Because, you know, maybe they follow the system that they want as a national team, you know, all under one umbrella. They bring down the philosophy and all that, you know. Is that the reason also? Because some clubs have different philosophy. They don't want to follow the national team.
Correct.
That kind of thing. Is that also the main reason?
I think we need to support, the club needs to support the national team cause lah, basically kan. But again, the club has an obligation towards their self-image sustainable rights lah. So again, at that, when we won for 10 years when Reddy took over, we won the 3 Tiger Cups, right? It was we have a very clear identity of how we want to play, how we want to portray ourselves, how we want to face the opponent, until to the extent opponent also understand us. But through year repetition, right, we just grew stronger and stronger. So the recruitment phase of players putting was the only main cause that we grew stronger lah. And from 2004, Tachuan and Hasrin was in the middle. They were replaced in 2007 with Sichai and Marudin. Then we just become stronger lah. Then again, I think we have to find an identity of our own in the national team, and the players also have to have a certain pride of playing. This is a very, very important thing for a player to have. But yeah, like players, we always are being directed, right?
Yeah, I understand.
If we are being directed well, I think the result will become
Will show
better.
itself.
Understand. I mean, now this is something interesting, you know. Once you played under Fandi Ahmad, and then he put you as a 5th striker. You wanted to slam him down, break his record and all that. But then one day, few years later, you serve him as an assistant coach in the Young Lions, you know. How was that like now, from wanting to
I think
slam this fella?
I always have the huge respect for Abang Fandi kan. So that was on a player's perspective. But when you cross over the fence and then you become a coach kan, it's a different ball game lah. It's a different ini. When we work together, I think I learn a lot from him. He is one of the mentors that I have, which grow me into the coaching world. I was working with Shasha, our fitness coach, who's also one of my mentors, and then Subramani at that point of time. So again, I cannot have the same sentiment as I was a player lah. And being abang and then knowing his humble side of him, so I learned a lot from him to control my emotion and everything lah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's you mentioned just now earlier, you know, you had no interest actually in coaching. If there's a job that pays as well as a coach, you would
I will just leave.
But then, from that, and then you went on to coach in Tokyo Verde as an assistant. How did that came about? And then we realized the stint wasn't as long as it should be. So what happened actually down there?
So it starts from UTR also. I have to thank UTR for giving me the opportunity to go there. And then, of course, being there for a whole season lah. Yeah, been there like for nine months. And then the good thing is that I was well accepted there, and then I get to understand how they work, how they coach and everything, how they implement their system and such. Coming back and then becoming much more clearer with how the coaching world supposed to be lah. Yeah.
I mean, we take your point there. You go to many places to even coach that kind of thing. I'm sure you have a lot of experiencing dealing with different sets of players, Japanese players, local players. From what is the biggest challenge you face coaching? Let's touch on local players today compared to when you were playing.
Every time, every day.
Was it a
Every
mindset?
day is just waking.
No. Every day, I pray that I wouldn't face a Noh Alam Shah. So, but again, there's 4 components lah. Basically, we need to understand in football, right? It's always about the technical, tactical, then the psychological,
Man management.
and then the man management part lah. Again, I think in terms of technical, it always boils down to the development. In the elite side, when I receive the players, I cannot touch too much on the technical, right? I can only touch on the tactical. But being a leader, and then you really have to understand the mental side of the players lah. So again, the belief that we have right now has gone into the players too much, that we are like not the best footballing country in the region.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and then I think every day I have to make the players believe that we are good enough.
Yeah.
A day of improvement is always better than zero improvement. So for me, it's always about the mental side, because at the end, if you talk about pride, they have pride. If you talk about hunger, they have the hunger. But I just think that we have been telling ourselves, this country has been telling ourselves, right, that we are not as good as Indonesia. We are not as good as Malaysia. We are not as good. Back then I was in the hotel. I will walk in the lobby. If there's 5 Indonesia players come here, they will make way for me. To that extent, because I believe that
You're better.
I'm better than everybody. I will never talk to the Malaysian. I will never have social media with the Malaysian players. It is really like, it will boil down to a really rivalry part. Just to create that belief that you are my utmost enemy.
On the pitch, But do you feel Singapore is lacking another Noh Alam Shah?
Better lag lah. I pray every day don't have this kind of player.
I mean we were winning games, so it.
I think it's good.
Yes, despite his...
Maybe one.
We need one.
But one will trouble the people around him.
Okay.
They have to do reports on the
I mean, all the disciplinary issues aside, but you had the mentality to bring people together and perform well.
And then win games.
And we need that.
I think we need. But if there is one suddenly come to Tanjong Pagar now, how will you deal with?
How I will deal?
First team, striker.
No. I will channel him into a better channel, because the things I have, the reflection I have towards my own life as a footballer and as a person is the tool that I have to share with the players that I have now. Not only to them, also my kids as well. So I think I'm blessed with a lot of experiences. The more wrong than right, to advise and to make sure that if you got the set of qualities that I have, then you have the set of anger that I have, then I really know how to channel it into a
positive side.
I see. So now you are the leader of Tanjong Pagar. And under you have Ridwan, Isa Halim to join you for the team of coaches. So does brotherhood and loyalty mean a lot to you as a person? Because I think you preach so much on personal growth.
Yeah.
And you wanna, channel their, I don't know, their potential lah.
Yeah.
So why do you choose those two?
I will not only choose these two lah. I got Ridwan Muhammad, I got Isa Halim, I got Hafiz Osman, I got Jasli Hatta, and then back then I got Hafiz Asrin Jalani. Okay, so I have to share this story a bit longer lah.
Okay, we have time for you.
No worries.
So when I was given a task in 2020 with Tanjong Pagar, right, I understand that we come from a seed out in 2014. So the main objective was to have this club in a good financial state and then a good balance for them to participate. So me, I always believe that I'm a good student without good teachers. So when I start the journey, I set a 10-year timeline. So I said, the 5 years that I'm going to set is to develop teachers.
Okay.
So, and that teachers include myself.
Okay.
So when you talk about the development of coaches under 2025, I got 5 coaches who already taken the pro diploma in Tanjong Pagar.
Okay.
Asrin Jalani, who's in Geylang assisting now. Hirman, who's leading
Laos.
And then I got Musawi, I think he's now going to FIFA.
Okay.
And then I got myself, and then I got Isa. And then I got Hafiz Osman, who was back then only B license. Then now he's A license, and then the level 2 fitness coach. And then I got Ridwan, who was a C license. And then now he's already A license. And then very good in administration.
Harley Davidson.
After that, I got a few more. I got Azwan, who from a kid man and then become a social media photographer, all the things that he done. So these 5 years, I really stress on the development of the back end staff rather than players.
Okay, understand.
And then when you see now, it has shifted over to the image of the club. So hence you see a lot of social media things happening.
Yes. I think you guys are the only one.
It's quite
It's
interesting.
very good.
Yeah.
SPL 2.
I just want to ask, in 2020 when they give you this project, how come suddenly you got the mind to... who do you have talk to anyone? Do you had a mentor to share you this plan, or at home you just suddenly 5 years this, 5 years this? How did that came about?
This comes. I also don't know. I will always plan this lah. As a player also, I will always have a timeline. That's why when I said, okay, like just now, when I go back a little bit, I spoke about at 35 years old I'm going to retire. This already I understand this when I was 20 years old.
Okay.
So I always have but of course the plan will differ, like it was up and down. Like Asrin leaving us, and then Musawi Herman left us. And then, but again, I always stick to this timeline lah. So again, this year is the image. That's why you see we brought Hammer in. We brought the Azwan created the TPU TV and everything. So I think this has to be run for 2 years until we go into result oriented.
But is this year Tanjong Pagar focused mainly on players? Because I think the rumours going around, I think a lot of teams also fear that Tanjong Pagar this year had a very good squad. But the main big question mark they're wondering is, where did Tanjong Pagar get that kind of budget to import so many foreign players?
Actually, we are rich. I told you, we just don't spend.
Okay. The 5 year timeline including saving.
One time they spend, bro.
No, again, when you have a certain direction, right, you understand where to save and where to spend. And then being the club, so when I decided to go into Tokyo over the year, I'm leaving all my other coaches, right? The responsibility of handling the club as coaches. This is the first time for them. So again, the result that we get was bottom, and then we
smash everywhere.
Concede 103 goals. But these 103 goals conceded is the development growth of the coaches there. So now they have gone through the worst. They can only go up really well. Right. So when I come back from Japan, I really have coaches who were motivated to prove themselves. And they are now working really, really extra hard. And if you think that this year we're gonna do something good or what, to be honest, we are just average team.
Yeah.
Because the direction of the club image is the primary thing that we want to do now.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you got to give credit to Tanjong Pagar lah, because not all clubs actually covered the SPL2 also, you know. So when they covered the SPL2 last week with the lineups, the score and all that, I think it shows how that they are proper with the image, like what Along just mentioned. Yeah.
So what is your long-term vision for Tanjong Pagar United for your coaching career?
To leave them lah.
To leave them. That's all.
Basically, when I took the job, right, when you're developing somebody, like especially below you, you want them to take over your job, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, so that's like what I think good mentors or good teachers go. The satisfaction will come when your student take over you, right? Yeah. So again, of where I want to go, I really don't know. But if I'm able to build somebody from zero and then take over my job, then I will have a certain value inside for people to see.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, it's just about me accepting.
Does this understanding goes around the club, you know, because just a little bit touching on footballing world, not all assistants actually are very supportive of the head coach that they have. So you having this kind of personality and all that, you know, does this give you the confidence to go to training every single day knowing that your back end is supporting you and that kind of stuff? Is this important to you as well?
Very, very important lah. Basically, you want like just now mentioned, kan? Oh, is it Brotherhood that I recruit these people? No, actually, I recruit people who work.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't recruit me, and it just happens that these close friends of mine, they understand my temperament, and they are willing to grow. Under a certain direction. So that's why they are there. You know, I can easily call other friends, you know, but these other friends, I know how to observe whether they are in there to grow or just to get stability. I don't need somebody just to stabilize themselves. I need them to grow so that they can grow somebody else. You know, so again, it's much more better if you got like Ridwan.
Somebody that understands you.
Ridwan can sit here and joke around, but when it comes to work, he's serious.
We all can see that. I mean, you've had I would say a decent coaching career as well now. Tokyo Verde, Tanjong Pagar and all that. Do you dream of managing the national team one day?
At this moment, no lah. At this moment, no lah. I don't think I'm well equipped or well knowledgeable for that yet lah.
Okay.
My dream is always to try and go back into Indonesia, because my wife is in Indonesia, and then I think I stabilized everything there. So basically, I think my kids are already grown.
You have how many kids? 2 kids, 3?
I got 2 from my first marriage and then 3 from my second marriage.
Any boys?
I got 3 boys and 2 girls. So my oldest is 26 and then my youngest is 18.
Any pursuing football?
They just play. They won the under-21 league, 2 of them. With Tanjong Pagar.
Okay.
But again, they are fortunate because I'm their dad.
Can I imagine being at home every day with Along?
I think very supportive father, I think.
Very supportive.
Quite supportive.
They have to go through certain phases. Like right now, I'm a friend to them more than a strict father lah.
But at the point of time, younger days, I think strict father.
Younger days, they will remember now.
Touching on a long career you have and all, any regrets that you have in terms of any bad headlines you make, good headlines, any regret you have in your playing career other than the move you didn't make to England?
At that point of time, when things happen, yes, I do have regrets. But if you talk about it now, I don't think I regret it so much, because it has become a tool for me to assist others, you know, and also equip me in my decision-making processes. So again, of course, my main concern is always not to be that person again and have that regret lah. So that's why when people ask me to come and play for fun or what, I will never go. Because at the end, I know that Alam Shah, the old Alam Shah is still inside the new Alam Shah. So it's a concern for me. So I try to stay away as much from football outside lah.
I mean, it's actually quite amazing, even when you retire, you still have that drive, when you play, you want to win. If people give you a bit, you also know that there's still that Alam Shah in you. So it's when you have that mentality, I think it sticks with you. Talking about what do you want the fans to remember most about Noh Alam Shah as a footballer? What would be nice, when you go to coffee shop?
So again, I just want them to remember the passionate side of me, and then the pride that I have when I represent the country. I never kept medals or I never kept JCs inside with me. It's always nice when somebody come to my house and then say, hey, you remember when you scored this goal? You remember when you win? It is always meaningful when somebody remember it, or rather than somebody look at this medal like, hey, all these games, I rather have that honest memories from other people than something to make them remember lah.
Yeah, I mean, before we, it's been quite an enjoyable conversation and all. I mean, before we end the podcast and all, we respect how much of a boss you are on and also off the pitch itself. And we also do understand that last week was actually your birthday. So we as a team at Sportswire, we managed to get you a small gift that we have. None other from boss itself. So happy, happy belated birthday. We hope that you can, if you want, you can open up the present, just a small gift.
Okay.
But we hope that you can actually wear this during one of the games that you have lah.
This is a cap. You know I never wear cap.
Right? We do know that from your IG and all, you don't really wear cap, but you had one season where you're wearing lah. So
Happy belated birthday.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Alung. I mean, it's been an enjoyable podcast, enjoyable conversation we had with you. And for the last part, any words you like to share to the fans of Tanjong Pagar this year? I believe it's been a very long 5 years for them. They are looking forward to this season. Any words for them?
Then to the Tanjong Pagar fans, I think stay resilient because we are always trying to improve ourselves. At the back end, you have always been sportive. Never stop being that. I think we will try to show a certain kind of level of performance this season. But again, we have to ride this together. For the betterment of the club. At the end, there's that. Let's just stay passionate. Let's stay true to ourselves. And then we go into this season trying to win a lot of games.
Thank you so much, Alung.
I mean, it's been an enjoyable episode. If you guys made it all the way to the end of this episode, thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Every small gesture goes a long way in supporting us. Until next time, this is Sportswire, wired for sports, driven by passion.
What a brilliant goal! Usain Bolt storming through, takes it.
We've never seen anything like it. The Sportswire Podcast.